on G Sutton. Do please like and subscribe. It's just a straight click down there and off we go. And it really helps, you know. And today I want to talk about that legend that is Paul Sykes. Yes, the former heavyweight boxer who was well known as a male rapist and a complete scumbag. But people have held him up as being something of a hero, but that's not my experience of Paul Sykes. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Paul Sykes and what he ended up as and what he did. And basically, my experience of Paul Sykes is a very negative one. Please do like and subscribe, as I said, and your comments. I really like your comments. Even the insults. I don't like the idea too much of people suggesting that I should be imprisoned for actually discussing what happens behind the walls of Strange Ways Jail or any other prison for that matter, because you can't tell me that it's an official secret what happens in British prisons. The prisoners are you and me, our brothers, our sisters, our uncles, aunts, granddads. They're the people who are the prisoners, you and me, yeah? Not the people who make the rule book. They make the rule book to control the people that are under their thumb, yeah? Not me. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about Paul Sykes. Paul Sykes from Wakefield in Yorkshire terrorised the local area. Was a big bully. I mean, we're talking about 6'3", 6'4", a good 16, 17 stone when I knew him. Kept himself reasonably fit. Told a strange story about punching a shark as he swam across the Straits of Johor, which just simply didn't happen because there ain't no sharks like he described along the Straits of Johor. And even if there were, they would have eaten him alive. They certainly wouldn't have got a chance to whack them in the ear, as he said, just making that up. He also was prone to associate with known active drug dealers and homosexuals in the prison, and they would assist him in recruiting younger inmates. We're not talking about boys, although I am reliably informed that when he was locked in Armley jail, he managed to get himself a job as the cleaner on the young offenders wing, and was abusing the boys there. Now that's a trick that was played by one of his fellow associates at Strange Ways, a certain well-known drug dealer who shall be nameless, but let's suffice it to say that his initials were DS, and he was held on I believe it was E-wing, and when they were using part of the wing for young offenders, and he, at the age of 35 years, managed to get himself appointed as the landing cleaner at the age of 35. Now, the prison regulations specifically stipulated that no adult male inmate of the age of 21 or above was allowed to associate or be in any way in the vicinity of young offenders. But this particular individual had managed to get himself appointed as the landing cleaner, and he was swapping his cellmates with young boys on a regular basis. And you may imagine what he was entertaining himself doing. Far be it from me to say that he was buggering them up the backside, but that's basically what he was doing. Until I came across him and saw that he was there and said, right, pack your gear, you're on, you're moving. No, he said, the principal officer has appointed me as the cleaner on this landing. I said, I'm not going to ask you again. You get your gear, put it into your thing, put it together, you're moving right now. I said, and if you haven't started doing that within the next 30 seconds or so, I'm going to get my team, grip you, and forcibly remove you. At which point the principal officer came out of his office. You can't do this, Mr. Sutton. I said, listen, I don't know if you're aware of the prison rules and regulations. Statutory law requires that no inmate of 21 years or may be in any close association with young offenders. This man is 35 years of age and he's moving right now. I said, and when I've removed him, I'm going to put a report in to the governor. I said, and your name will be in that report. So pick the bones out of that. I mean, don't forget, this is a principal officer who long years standing, probably 20 years service or something like that. Wasn't very pleased to hear me telling him that. But I would be quite prepared. But I did actually put the report in. I mean, I didn't mind. I moved this guy. But he was an associate of Paul Sykes, recruiting young boys for Paul Sykes. And Paul Sykes was notorious in the jail for grabbing younger men, bending them over the bed. He put a picture of the latest pin-up of page 3 on their back, ripped off the shreddies, bent them over the bed, and buggered them up the backside. And he did this when he was out in Wakefield, in Yorkshire. He had a string of convictions for public indecency. You don't believe, listen, don't just take my word for this. Don't. Go onto YouTube. I think his name is David Cockerill, yeah? He's got a YouTube up there, a video, 3-part video about Paul Sykes, telling how he was abusing young boys. I mean, we're talking about 9, 10-year-old children in the park, where he would sit on a park bench, exposing his genitals, playing with what you would expect him to be playing with, and shouting for the young boys to come along and come over here and suck this for me. Come and sit on this. He was drunk. He was a child abuser. He was a violent rapist, a male rapist, and he was convicted at magistrates court. Don't believe me? Go and search this up. Go and look it up, yeah? He was convicted numerous times, 24 times, I believe, in the Wakefield courts there for indecent exposure. In one instance, caught on CCTV camera, he was urinating in a bus shelter, and a young girl of about 7 or 8 was screaming and crying because she was witnessing this. And Paul Sykes, a hero that he is, what a legend he is, he was shouting at her, "Get out of here, I'll bash you, you little bastard," and all that. Subsequently convicted of that because he was caught on CCTV camera. Numerous times he was offending people, bullying people in pubs, thought he was a tough guy. In actual fact, when it came down to it, he was a coward. Like all big bullies, he was a coward. When he got one stuck right on him, he didn't like it. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Go and look up on YouTube, type in John L. Gardner versus Paul Sykes. You'll see what Paul Sykes is. As soon as he gets a few stuck on him by John L. Gardner, the boxing match, you'll see what happens. He backs away and he quits in his corner. Quits. Won't have any more of that. What a hero, eh? What a legend. So all the people who have criticised me in the past saying, well, Paul Sykes wasn't really like that. He was snatched at Strangeways for trying to bully staff, held down on the floor and forcibly injected with Largactil in the upper outer quadrant of his right buttock. And I know that for a fact. Do you know how I know? I was that jailer. I was a hospital officer there, and my first introduction to Paul Sykes was when I knelt on his back and stuck a needle in his arse. He was never quite the same after that, because we snatched him, dragged him off the landing and threw him into the padded cells. So anybody who thinks that Paul Sykes, whoa, what a hero. Well, let me tell you this. If you were on the receiving end of Paul Sykes' equipment, bent over a cell bed with your shreddies round your ankles, you wouldn't think he was much of a hero then, believe me. Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. That's the song ringer, by the way. So you've had your warning. I'm going to sing to you now. It ain't much of a sing-song, is it? Let's be honest. But I am going to make a mess of this song here. It's not by request. It's just something I know. It was originally recorded by a group called Three Dog Night. This is Mama Told Me Not to Come. Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea? What's all these crazy questions they're asking of me? This is the craziest party that ever could be. Oh, don't turn on the lights, 'cause I don't want to see. Mama told me not to come. Mama told me not to come. That ain't no way to have fun. Open up the window, let some air into this room. I think I'm almost choking from the smell of stale perfume. And that cigarette you're smoking, about to scare me half to death. Open up the window, let me catch my breath. Mama told me not to come. Mama told me not to come. That ain't no way to have fun, son. That ain't no way to have fun. Well, the radio is blasting. Someone's knocking at the door. I'm looking at my girlfriend and she's passed out on the floor. I seen so many things I ain't never seen before. Don't know what it is, but I don't want to see anymore. Mama told me not to come. Yeah, Mama told me not to come. That ain't no way to have fun, son. Mama told me not to come. Mama told me not to come. There you go. That's my version of Mama told me not to come. Even I didn't like that. Tales from the Jails. Like and subscribe.